Hey guys, how are you? Uh, Welcome. Um, I've been thinking recently about the problem of the echo chamber, about the idea that the things we believe aren't just things we hold dear due to its own merit, but because other people around us believe it and repeat it to us enough times that we consider these things true, without looking into the evidence or the logic that makes these beliefs possible. I find that very often the concept of the echo chamber is something that is scoffed at. Yet it's quite easy to fall into. We find ourselves in situations where everybody around us believes what we believe. Our parents believe what we believe. Our brothers, our sisters, our siblings, our extended family, they all believe what we believe. And so it's easy for us to scoff at the idea that this might be an echo chamber with all the wrong beliefs and all the wrong things being said, being thought to the young generation in a way that is very harmful to said generation and future generations. Yet, this is often the reality. I find out in the culture I've grown up in very often that there are beliefs that are held true simply because the other people around us believe it. And I've been stuck with that idea for a while because recognizing the fact that there's an echo chamber, recognizing the fact that these beliefs are somewhat dangerous or redundant or counterproductive doesn't somehow make you break free from them. You still need some conscious effort to break through uh, the echo chamber. But I'm getting a little bit of myself. I'd like to give some context on what the echo chamber is. So, an echo chamber is like any room, you say something and then you hear it repeated back. Um, in practice, what this means is you say something and it's repeated back multiple times in a way that reinforces what you already believe. This is dangerous because it reduces discourse from the examination of evidence to just the repetition of rhetoric in a way that we already believe and buy into. We see that already in a lot of spaces we live in the sports space. We see that already in the social, in our social circles. We see that in politics. We see that in business. We see that in the media everywhere, where the things we already believe or the things we already want to believe are echoed back to us in a sense or in a way that justifies what we already believe. The idea of the echo chamber is not something new, but it's become a lot more dangerous recently after being fueled by the concept of social media. Social media has made it such a way that information spreads like wildfire. But the way social media platforms algorithms work means that when you find a video, when you find a piece of content, when you find something online that you interact with, very often they use specific parameters, they use specific data points, your age, your tribe, nationality, location, interests, occupation, and all these things to find the people that might be interested in these ideas, in these videos, in the things propagated um, on the piece of content you're about to consume. Now, usually it doesn't happen everywhere, but there are situations where it's a perfect mix, a perfect storm brews, where you have people who find these videos, and these videos are rife with misinformation, and all of a sudden they dive in, contribute to the misinformation, that people of their specific backgrounds are predisposed to, and then people of the same background contribute to same misinformation repeatedly, and it goes on in a loop again and again and again until it just reaches a saturation point. Now, I bring up echo chambers because it's not often easy to break free from them. There's a lot of prejudice when you live in an echo chamber against the outgroup. And breaking free, in this case, outgroup are the people that don't believe or engage in the rhetoric you have. Think of people who um, are strong allies of, say, Trump, or people who are strong Democrats or liberals, and their individual reaction to people they deem to be in the out group. Yeah. So when this happens, when there is a break from the in group, when you are the break from the in group, when you start exposing yourself to ideas that are beyond the comprehension of the people in the echo chamber, what this means is you open up yourself for attacks, for hate, for engagement in a way that does not benefit you, or very often might even lead to harm. Yet, this is often completely necessary because a lot of the beliefs we've held for years, for generations even, have propagated because there were echo chambers that reinforced these beliefs. It's hard to imagine echo chambers without social media, but they existed. Academics can form echo chambers of their own using pseudoscientific knowledge, using less than ideal academic practices, um, and all these things could propagate. We have to think about something like slavery or the slave trade. It seemed okay. Almost every religion sort of condoned or at least turned a blind eye to slavery. And so you find people that would use the religious texts of all kinds to justify slavery. It took a lot of brave and creative thinking for people to decide that, wait, this isn't normal. And a lot of people died on that hill, the hill that we aren't, you know, that all men are created equal. A lot of people have died on that hill, I mean to say. And it took courage, The basic thread here, therefore, is, it is necessary to break free from our echo chambers. It is necessary to challenge the things we already believe, the things we already hold close to our hearts, to understand where do we get these beliefs from? What's the evidence supporting this belief? Why do we hold some belief to higher rigors of evidence than others? I remember I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I expressed discomfort at the idea that science is held to so much more of a higher standard of belief, of proof, than religion. And his idea is, well, science has, taught us a little bit to question it more, while religion doesn't leave that room. And I understood the point. An idea I would push back with then is that maybe we should push back on the idea that we shouldn't question it enough, because echo chambers crumble when you start asking questions. They crumble when you start looking deeper into all the things that, that the tenets of the space you're operating in, the tenets of the space you're living in. That's what challenges the echo chamber. Echo chambers fill divides. I've very often thought about this idea where I've been forced to reckon with the idea that there are truly differences between us. We are humans, yes, but there are genuine, palpable differences between us, from our gender to the gods we worship, to the economic systems we adhere to the sort of governments we accept, right? To the class we fall into. I've always understood that this is a real, genuine, palpable thing to expect in the human race. So, but I have sort of also recognized that there are artificial barriers, there are artificial divisions. While we might be genuinely different in multiple areas, what should matter should be the human experience. Echo chambers subvert this experience. It claims one experience is superior to the other, regardless of what the facts of the situation are, right? Echo chambers want you to think there is a war on women, that there is a war on men. There might be, but not in the way that you think about it, right? It is the echo chambers we stay in that contributes to these conclusions. The red pill space, the blue pill space, liberal, conservative, right? LeBron fan, Steph fan, Jordan fan, Kobe fan. It's all filled by echo chambers where we stay in it, we immerse ourselves in it, we accept the explanations that come off of these echo chambers, and then we let it flow out into real life and challenge the very concept of our humanity. Um, this feels more like a rant than an organized session or talk, but if there's one takeaway you should make from this video is the idea that we need to dismantle echo chambers at all costs. We need to make sure that we have a marketplace of ideas. No space should be filled with yes men to a particular concept. We should be ready to challenge ideas, to interact with ideas, to express ourselves in complex, nuanced terms beyond the simplistic terms that, you know, that straw man the positions of the people on the other side. We need to avoid the concepts of of us versus them. While yes, there are palpable differences, we are still human. We are still people that all want the best for ourselves, our families, our friends, and our societies at large, our countries, our nationality. We all want the best for ourselves. There has to be a way. If we are to survive this little rock we call Earth, there has to be a way for us to accept the differences and work towards strengthening ourselves at the points of similarities. Um, well, thank you. I appreciate your time.